Hey everybody, what's up from Roll, Minnesota? Your state of skate. Ham Butch Layman wishing you all a happy 2022 as we introduce the year with another episode of Rolling Reactions. In today's video, this was a profile that I was recommended by a number of different viewers, and admittedly, it's a skater that I haven't seen a lot of. I know he's produced a number of video parts, and I've been living under a rock a bit, so today we're going to fix that. We're going to take a look at these sections, and he's pretty amazing. I have seen some clips here and there of Dominic Bruce, and this guy is a creative, innovative genius when it comes to skating. Anyway, today we'll be taking a look at a couple of profiles he put together, including one that I believed was nominated for Profile of the Year on One Blading magazine. That's his fifth floor profile, which I think is actually a multi-part video, if I'm not mistaken. We're also going to look at his Razors Pro section, as well as his ATH section. And all three of these are parts that I haven't seen yet, and I'm really looking forward to it because I'm kind of digging the creative, innovative style of skating that he brings to the table. Anyway, guys, I invite you to join me for this one as we take a look at Dominic Bruce. Let's check it out. All right, so I was right about this first part. It is, in fact, a 3-profile section in one video, so he's definitely getting a lot of work in. And you can already tell it's like this really quick run-and-gun style of skating from Dominic. And that's kind of what I expected from seeing the few clips that I have seen on social media. And this type of skating is not really what I grew up with. This is not my personal style of skating. That doesn't mean that I can't have immense appreciation for this. And I know sometimes people get really tribalistic in their criticism of skating. But like even with that wall ride coming back out forward to the really quick top acid, that's pretty cool. And so you got to give credit where credit is due. That trick I loved. Full alley-oop horn. Ooh, and ticking it left foot to right foot on the 360 there. But you know, I really am glad to see that in blading right now, that there is this diversity of content, of style, of trick vocabulary. Because I think this is what keeps blading appealing to the masses, gives people different creative outlets, and it pushes people out of their comfort zones to skate in different ways that maybe aren't traditional. By the way, that 720 was so clean, and I can't believe that he was able to jump into the kind grind so quickly after. Like, not a lot of setup for that. That quick kind of footwork is really impressive to me. That was just the intro. This is already starting out to be a banger. I can see why this is nominated. Backslide to wall ride. That's not something that you see very often. I don't even know what to call that. It's like a quick, like, med spin wheel roll. That was maybe the most dangerous thing I think I've ever seen on blading. Like, I just felt my ankles die a little bit. Very dangerous there. Getting them stuck under the rail, it's kind of cringy to me. I don't even want to think about that. The pacing of this edit is something else that I want to comment on. I've watched a lot of videos on this channel. If you guys have watched with me for a while, you know how many skating profiles I try to keep up to date with. And the amount of tricks that have already happened here and just how quickly they're rapid firing through is impressive in its own right. Very unusual spot. I'm not sure what that was. Is that like a bike rack? Might be a little bit different overseas than what we have here in the States, but still pretty cool. Getting a little glitchy on that last trick. You know, you got to appreciate a good wall ride. Wall rides have been around for so long and have been like this staple street skating style trick where it's not just a gap. And, you know, it adds a little something extra. Speaking of extra, we are getting into the witchcraft now. This is the kind of stuff that I expect to see out of a lot of skaters nowadays. It doesn't make sense to me. Not in the slightest. All right, getting into part 2. This is the same video. He's just jumping all over the place here, transferring into a small drop rail, but still, that's a lot of hopping. Weird distortion going on with the lens here. I'm not sure if that was just due to the fisheye lens. Definitely a different visual aesthetic, though, from a lot of videos. I'm not sure what's happening right now. Cruising in with a lot of speed to the full alley-oop sole. That's actually one of my favorite tricks personally to do. Man, he was able to carry that speed off in the opposite direction. You know, it's these fine nuances of blading I think that sometimes get lost on the masses, and it's easy to see how that criticism emerges when people talk about like what happened to the good old days of just doing hammers and big switch ups and spinning into grinds, which we're certainly seeing that from Dominic. Like, he's able to do those tricks, but also mixing it up with some of these less conventional maneuvers. And that's something, again, that I think is to be respected. It's also worth stating that, you know, a lot of times a beginner skater or just an outside observer might not be fully aware of the level of technicality and difficulty that goes into something like that alley-oop heel roll, which I can tell you from personal experience is not my strong point in the slightest, so I got to give respect for that. That was cool. That's the kind of trick that I would feel more comfortable with. Little transfer souls, disaster souls, sort of more of my style. Like the 540 out on that one. Not a lot of time to set up, but still getting the full spin out. Going wheel roll to Royale. Really interesting spot there. That was like an empty fountain. I think that's something else that we could comment on for blading as a whole, is the level of selection and creativity of spots has gone crazy in the last few years. There's so much more diversity, not just in the skaters that are coming to the table or the tricks that they're doing, but okay, that was really cool. Oh, and with a wall stall out. That was nice, man. All right, guys. Anyway, we're on to our next profile. This one is titled Razors Pro, and I assume this is a video for Razors, but what I can't think of is I can't think of him ever turning pro for Razors. Did he get a pro boot? Does he have a pro wheel? If he does, I apologize. I apologize to you, Dominic. Admittedly, already, I haven't followed his career very closely, but I'm hoping to get caught up right now, so hopefully you guys don't hold that against me. You guys know Razor skates are my personal preference of skating. I really like SLs, are probably my favorite. I might try the shifts again. I tried them once before, and they weren't really my favorite. Looks like here he's skating Colts, which personally aren't my favorite Razor skates, but I know they have quite a cult following. Sorry, terrible joke, but jokes aside, it's true. Like the grab out of that, switching from one hand to the other. Ooh, steep drop in. What a cool spot, though. I mean, I'm sure that spot is not nearly as easy to skate or as fun to skate as it looks on camera. A lot of spots have that type of aspect to them, but you guys know that I love transition skating. I'm really more of a park skater, so anytime you can replicate those types of park maneuvers and park spots into a street style setting like that, that's something that I'm gonna love all day. Definitely my preference when it comes to skating. Another really interesting spot. I have to hand it over to Dominic on this. His spot selection here, he has some of the most interesting spots I think I've seen out of a skater in all my time doing this YouTube channel with these rolling reaction videos. I don't even know what to say about that. That was really, really clever mind to find a trick there, because I don't think I would have. Even in this video, despite it being a little bit older, we're still seeing a pretty quick pacing to the actual skating. Vertical sole. With a wall ride. I didn't even notice that the first time. That's pretty technical. Not gonna lie, there's a level of technicality that is really quite impressive here. That's witchcraft. There's a lot going on there. It wasn't just the wheel roll either, but then the stair bash out, and then I don't even know what you call it, but he like stubbed his wheels into the next stair. It's like an anti-stair bash. Is there a term for that? I don't know. We got here jumping over the rail, forward 360. Scarier trick than it seems. You don't want to trip yourself up. Ooh, the stale. That grab made that trick for sure. These are finding little transitions everywhere. Going 360 Machio. That's also a trick that you don't see all too often. I like how the arrow is pointing towards the landing. Very photogenic here. You know, I gotta say it, I've not been disappointed so far with the viewing of Dominic Bruce. Again, this is not my type of skating that I personally gear myself towards or typically watch. But any type of blading, if you guys can get out there and enjoy it, do something creative and interesting, I have full and complete support of that. We need to get rid of the tribalism. We need to get rid of the, you know, the gatekeeping in the community saying what's the right way to blade, what's the wrong way to blade, what's the right fashion. You just got to do what you love. And if you're part of this community and you're skating and you're having fun and you're learning, then you belong here. That's my personal belief. I know there's a lot of people that would echo that sentiment out there. So Dominic, keep killing it, man. You're finding some amazing spots and you're doing something interesting with the sport. I respect that. All right, finally we have what's called the ATH, and I'm not sure what that stands for, but already we're skating through a house, turning it into a skate park. I gotta give him props for that. There are times when I've wanted to do this very same thing. Don't have near enough room to make it work out, but hopefully rectifying that with some winter skating here. We rented out the local skate park every other Wednesday here in Minnesota. We've been having some big Wednesday night sessions with the whole blade community. But I guess if you can transform your house into a skate park like this, then you're doing things right. Like, then you know you're committed to skating. Going over the trash. And you know what? You even got roommates in on this. Like, you just use them as an obstacle. Disaster over Steve. I don't know if that was Steve. Whoever that was. Now we're doing the drop rail outside. Hopefully you have the good homeowner's insurance or liability insurance. This is getting pretty serious, too. It's nighttime. You've got people out flashing lights there. Now we're transferring from a P-rail to the drop rail. Guys, I don't know. This is intense. I guess this right here is why it's given the moniker aggressive skating. And they have a bowl. Who would have thought it? This is probably the smallest bowl I think I've ever seen in my 20-plus years of skating. So, congrats. You not only have shown me some tricks I haven't seen before, but you've also given me a skate obstacle that is a world record in my mind. Who was the skateboarder that always skated with a backpack on? You guys remember like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater? I think it was maybe Chad Muska. He's giving me a little bit of Chad Muska vibes there. He's skating around the city with the backpack. Still doing tricks, which is impressive in its own right. Dodging in and out of traffic. That just kind of gave me deja vu of the rollerblading documentary, It's All Good. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that from the 90s, but there was a section on Team FR out in New York City, and they were kind of weaving in and out of traffic and just having like the slalom style skating in the city. Man, Dominic really will skate like anything, won't he? There's no obstacle off limits. Nice little line there. What are we on, like 4 or 5 tricks in that line? Keeping it all together. There's a skate park. Finally, we have a skate park clip here. Oh, that was a nice transition. And back down. Very fluid. I was talking about earlier that he's skating everything and, you know, just throw the shopping cart in there. Ooh, that's my kind of trick there. Full TTP. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode featuring Dominic Bruce. Again, I have been out of the loop when it comes to this guy, but I am really impressed with the skating that I saw from him. I think, again, sometimes we get so used to our own methodology of skating, our own passions, our own interests, our own style, that sometimes we box out all of the potential that lays around us. When it comes to a guy like Dominic, he's pushing a lot of boundaries, being innovative, and that's something that I have tremendous respect for. Regardless of who you are, regardless of what type of skating you foster or what type of skating you endorse, we're all part of the same family. These are all variations of the same passion, and that makes all of us family as well. And I think there's a mutual level of respect that goes into that. You know, greatness recognizes greatness. Iron sharpens iron, as the adage goes. Anyway, guys, we're going to leave it at that one. If there are any other sections or videos or profiles or skaters out there that you would recommend me to watch, I would gladly take your suggestions. I'm always looking to expand my horizons, to experience more of this culture and the sport that I love so much. So leave them down below in the comments, and I'll get at it after it. We've got all of 2022, so keep me entertained, and hopefully I can do something to maybe help entertain you along the way. Anyway, guys, I'm Butch Lehman of Roll, Minnesota, reminding you to stay safe, stay healthy, and get out there and do some rollerblading. Till next time, everybody, we'll see ya. Peace.